For centuries, Christians have been taught the Old Testament story of Jonah and the whale. For those not familiar, the story goes as follows. God sends the prophet Jonah to Nineveh to preach against the city's wickedness. Only Jonah doesn't want to go, so he tries to sail off in the opposite direction, only for a storm to appear and imperil his ship. After the crew decides to toss Jonah overboard to appease God, per Jonah's own suggestion, the storm abates. But instead of drowning, the prophet is swallowed by what the Bible calls a great fish, which is often incorrectly believed to be a whale.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
After taking some time to think things over in the belly of the beast, Jonah has a reluctant change of heart and finishes his mission. As the story goes, Jonah feels that God had engineered the storm as revenge for his disobedience. God then saved him from drowning when the fish swallowed him, proving once and for all that Jonah had little real choice in the matter. In the end, God tells the fish to release Jonah, and the creature hurls him onto dry land. This famous narrative touches on some key issues for Christians, including obedience and faith in God. But there's a question, just how long was Jonah in that whale? The biblical narrative is actually quite specific about this detail, at least compared to some of the other stories in the Bible. Jonah 1:17 says that the prophet was in the belly of the beast for 3 days and 3 nights. That may seem like an oddly specific way of describing time, but it was actually written like this because of the way time was kept in Jonah's day. Let's start with what 3 days and 3 nights actually means. For centuries, most of the world and the West specifically has used the Roman method of measuring days. As you probably know, a new day begins at midnight and lasts until midnight the next day. As such, there's no need to specify a day and a night since the 24-hour period will inevitably include both daylight and sunlight. However, Palestinian Jews of the era reckoned a new day as beginning at sundown and then ending at sundown the next day. Moreover, any part of a day, no matter how brief, counted as a whole day according to their method of timekeeping. It was particularly useful that the Old Testament specified the fact that Jonah spent somewhere close to 72 hours, or 3 24-hour days, in the whale's belly. This is because this time frame is later used as a deliberate metaphor in the story of Jesus, who, according to the New Testament, spent the same period of time in his grave before being resurrected. Indeed, the New Testament includes a nod to Jonah's 3-day plight in Matthew 12:40, when Jesus is said to have prophesied, "Just as Jonah was in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights, so will the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights." Of course, the story of Jesus is that he rose from his grave 3 days after being buried and accepted as having died. The same would have been thought for Jonah, who was thrown into the sea during a storm and left for dead, only to miraculously return to pass along God's message to the people. Specifically, that message would have been delivered to the Gentiles instead of the Jews of Israel, something Jesus is also said to have done after his resurrection. The concept of time in the Bible often doesn't jive with today's accepted ways of measuring the hours, days, and years. Yet the 3 days and nights Jonah is said to have spent inside the giant fish is believed by many to be a useful precursor to what would happen in the life, supposed death, and subsequent resurrection of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. In a simple phrase, it's all connected. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.